On.
Nice.
Oh.
All right, and welcome back to Tales of the Dark Infinium. Sorry, force of habit. Go ahead.
I let you go with it, man. That's cool.
Sean is Snake Ghost. Jake and Sean.
Cool.
Hi. Nice to see you guys.
Yo.
Pleasure to have you. Welcome to the Dark Infinium. Hi, Jake. Hi, Sean. I get to play.
I'm excited to see him play.
It's fun.
So far, I'm just being a dick.
It's funny though.
Not long.
Drugs will do that to you sometimes.
Especially when you can expense them.
All right. So, you arrive at the location, which is an old, abandoned port construction site. The vehicles you see are not this pretty. They're actually old and rusted. They look like they've been sitting there for years. There are signs of construction, some half-constructed buildings. It's pretty much exactly what you see on the map. When you guys arrive, according to the timeline that you were given by Snapjaw, basically you have about 10 minutes to burn, basically, until the scheduled time.
Keep an eye.
All right. Okay, so approximately after about 10 minutes of waiting, you guys still haven't seen Sven, who's in the truck.
Nope.
So
He stays in the truck.
yep. You're tripping out while sitting on a fold-out chair. That's the description you gave.
Basically, I'm paying attention to what's going on around me.
Yeah.
Definitely not anything completely unusual for me to be in this state. So,
Nope, true. And, okay, so about 10 minutes go by, and it is starting to get dark out. It's a pretty clear night, so the visibility is not bad or anything, as it's about 7:15 or so. It's about the scheduled time. And at that point, you can make an observation check.
'63.
Okay.
72.
17.
Okay. So basically, after 10 minutes go
Ooh.
by, none of you really seem to notice this boat that starts to come down the river until basically it's pretty much almost pulling up to the dock, because none of you guys will have 80 to see it actually come down there. But
Oh shit, a boat.
yeah, basically. And you see that this boat it looks like a beaten up small type of I don't know the term for it, kind of a little wooden boat, basically. That's what
Rowboat?
yeah, it's like a rowboat. And from what you can see on it with those rolls, basically there is one individual sits in the boat, and it looks to be another person laying on looks to be a cot or a stretcher.
So, Crazy Merc, aka Jake, has just redeemed a blessing for Greg.
Sweet.
Oh, shit, okay. Thanks, Jake.
Okay, so he used the other method of how to buy stuff.
Okay.
That I'm glad to know that one works too.
The Twitch Labs?
Yeah, he actually did it through the Streamlabs app that's on there. So if you click on it, you can kind of access it that way and do it that way. Otherwise, you can do the exclamation point redeem it, and that comes off, and then you get more points if you do an off the redeem version.
Sure.
And Snake Ghost just followed. Awesome. Thank you. Jake says you may need it.
That is true. I tend to roll very bad.
Okay. So sorry, back to game.
No, it's fine. Basically, as the boat pulls up to the dock, you realize that this boat has sustained some damage. It looks even more so than it probably started with. There's a couple of sections of the railing of the rowboat that looks like it was ripped off. Seems to be claw marks. The guy who is inside of the rowboat right now looks to be a very huge, muscular guy who you can evidently see looks like he's just been in a fight.
Kinda.
You would gather he's either something not human or anomalized, because he is very big. Like, there are muscles on top of muscles and muscles.
While he's pulling up the boat, I'm gonna get up, fold up my chair, put it back in the truck, grab my medical bag, and head to where he's docking up.
As well,
And once I'm able to, since he's the one that's up and conscious, I'm going to do a medical check on him first.
Okay, he pulls up to the dock, and you see him immediately walk over. He doesn't seem to be stopping, if that's the terminology for it. He's very focused on what his task is. But do you want to perform a medical examination? Make a roll. From he is working right now, so you wouldn't be able to stop him, but you can gauge from what he looks like.
$82?
More than enough. It looks like he has what appears to be multiple lacerations. It looks like he has a nasty gash on his forehead, one on his right arm, and looks like his left leg is bleeding. It looks like he's done a quick bandage to it, but you see him rapidly trying to get the stretcher unstrapped from the. It's strapped into the canoe. I'm sorry, the rowboat.
Yeah.
And he is kind of quickly looking around, kind of paranoid-like, as he's trying to undo the straps and get the stretcher out.
Calm down, it's alright.
You see him kind of glance at you.
You two, you mind helping getting this one? Bring him over to the truck. Stay calm for just a moment. I got some salve here for your wounds. Pull out some salve and lightly do a application.
He kind of steps back, but you see him constantly looking back behind him. As you're like even treating him, he's just not even looking at you or anything.
Yep.
And you unstrap him, make an agility, agility check. You can too to assist him, take the higher one. That's fine. And you can roll with advantage as your bonus, I guess, because we don't really add d6s. As your blessing, if you want, you can re-roll.
Oh yeah, I'll roll.
Okay. Not a good roll?
110.
Let's take his.
Yeah.
I got a plus 25 to agility. I put a shit ton of points into it.
You see a lot of what you would describe as mariner knots, but you don't have any difficulty with that roll of getting them unstrung and untied. You see that the guy, as you're administering the salve, is still looking behind him constantly, like he's afraid. You see there's definite fear in his eyes that are bloodshot, and he is constantly looking back. As you guys get them person unstrapped, you realize that the person is, and you can see this before you do a medical check, just with observation.
Yeah.
The patient is sitting there, appears to be some form of comatose, very red looking, very hot temperatured, and their eyes are open. Looks to be what you describe as a civilian female. She doesn't appear to be a bandit. There's no tattoos evident of a pirate or a gang association. She appears like just a regular random person grabbed off the street. But the minute that you get her unstrapped from the rowboat, basically the guy starts to undo the binding to take off.
Okay, finish applying the salve, hand him the remnant of the salve, expense it for twice its worth.
He nods, and immediately as
Does
you
he
guys
have to
pull
do
the
a
person
saving
off,
throw as I encourage his healing?
do you want to?
I'll encourage his healing. Make sure he's feeling better before he goes.
No problem. You see that the wounds. You guys can see this as you're moving the person off the rowboat, but his wound actually begins to callus, and you see like scar tissue building over his forehead. And he seems a little confused, but then you see him nod. He would make out a guttural gurring noise, but otherwise that's all you gather. And as the minute you guys take him off the boat, he literally takes his hand off of the rough dock and pushes the boat off. And he immediately just does all the ropes, pulls him in, and just takes off down the river.
All right. So, if you guys wouldn't mind helping me, load her into the back.
Yeah.
Yep.
We should be quick. We don't know why he was so paranoid.
Make an observation check.
Leaving in such a quick manner.
Can I use my boosted perception?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't notice much of anything.
Okay.
108.
I'm focused on her.
Yeah, no, I didn't roll that high. Remember my power?
Suddenly I see the sun rising on the other side of the planet. No,
What you rolled up 100, right?
I rolled 100.
108. Okay, as you guys pick up the cot to start taking it in, you hear what can only be described as scurrying. Something similar to what you would hear with movement of paws and or feet on ground moving quickly. And you hear it coming from this direction. And actually,
I came?
no, this direction, from down the river.
Oh, okay.
So, and at 108, you also do see that coming in from across the way, mind you, thankfully the bridge isn't there, but you see what appears to be black-furred, kind of creepy-looking dogs that are basically charging out of the woodline across from the river. You gather that might be what he was afraid of. Do you call it out? Because
Yeah, I let everyone else know that. You guys hear that? Oh my God! Look over there.
I mean, I rolled a 74.
okay, you would have, once he points it out, you can look over and you see coming from the tree line dogs. And what'd you roll? Not very high. No, you're checking on the patient. Let's go with that because that would keep your focus as a doctor.
Yep.
He thinks he sees them, but he's not sure if it's a hallucination.
Oh yeah, I totally saw those.
I heard you say something about it, but I'm not really paying attention. Let's make sure we get this person to the truck.
All right, as you start bringing the person to the truck, you basically don't even have to make a perception. There's a couple more of these dogs basically coming down this side of the river this time.
How fast are they going?
Fast. They're running on all fours. So you have basically.
Shit.
So
Those dogs usually do.
Yeah.
Oh
So
no, they're just full bipedal, just walking down the street.
and you see that these ones seem to have, from what you can tell, have stopped at the bridge, which is broken. It looks like they're foaming at the mouth. They're very angry looking. You can see that.
That's fine.
Do you want to try to secure the person inside the truck? You have that much time before they arrive if you want.
At least get him on the slab.
Yeah,
I can
get him out
lock
of
him in from there.
Get them out of harm's way.
Okay. So you hear that the footprints are coming in from that way. You have enough time. Make a just make a base roll for me. You two. Actually, you can help too.
No modifiers?
So no modifiers. I just need you to get them in the vehicle.
66. is my base.
67.
95.
Wow.
Okay, between the three, which all of you cleared it basically, you managed to put the person in the vehicle. Do you want to be inside the vehicle or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm gonna start chaining him down,
Okay. As you
Well,
basically
strapping him down.
Yep, I'm just gonna do that to make it simple for what's happening in the vehicle right now. But at this point, the dogs have now got to here.
Immediately draw my gun.
As soon as you guys are ready, hop on in, close the door, we'll get out of here. Sven starts up the truck.
So one dog tries to jump the gap, but but doesn't make it. Ends up getting washed away. He rolled a 2
Okay.
on his
He
clear.
rolled
The other one does clear and begins to actually attack the front of the truck as this one comes in here. We'll run the table. If you want to give me a medical check for an examination, that'll be your turn, and then we'll go with you starting with the combat phase. Is that
Okay.
good with everyone?
Yeah.
All right.
I do
So,
draw my gun
As you
immediately.
secure the person to the vehicle, you're able to start an medical check.
93.
That should do it. Once you get her strapped in, the first three things you notice is this person is hot to the touch. Just honest to God, they have a fever that you don't think that someone should be alive with a fever that high.
All right, then I'm gonna set her up on an IV with a nutrient drip, and I am going to reroute some of the coolant from the floorboard freezer
Okay.
that we discussed
Yep.
up to the table to cool it down.
Okay. And that'll be your turn for now. And I'll let you know how successful it is in a minute. Alright, so as you arrive, the dogs are charging around. And one dog, you can hear him attacking the front of the vehicle.
And I asked Sven for help on that so that it works out easier.
Okay, you hear some motion in the front cab. Alright, so what do you want to do, man?
I'm gonna pull up my guns and bang bang.
Okay, you have two dogs running up to you. Those are your two shots. Which one do you want to go for?
My thinking about. The one closest.
Okay.
One here. The one still on all fours.
Yep, no problem. Go ahead, roll. Even with your bonuses, I'm pretty sure you miss.
Yeah, pretty
and
sure.
do you have 1 or 2 45s?
2.
Okay, so you can go with the second shot if you're dual wielding. That's agreeable.
39.
That doesn't even
Still
clear the
doesn't
base
even-
50
yeah,
or
no.
60.
No.
I mean, at that point, it's at least 60, so.
Yeah.
All right, so he fires 2 shots. They go wide. No effect. Go ahead, man. You can move around to the front, or you can go to these two. It's up to you.
Focus on one. Quick question. What mods would I add to fire?
No, it's for you. It's unless you want to use your power, it's 15.
Okay.
We usually, unless you
fall under like a certain stat or anything.
We've never had it under a stat normalization, so I just usually give a base 15 to firearms, unless you have experience that's plus 20. Expert experience would be a plus 25. For just a fire.
And I'll take out my revolver and shoot at the one that he was trying to get.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll use perception for that plus 10.
Go ahead, man. No problem.
No.
Your shot goes wild.
59.
1 point off from getting at least a base hit, man. Sorry. So, you hear a bunch of gunfire from outside the vehicle. Nothing happens. This guy comes in and pulls out a throwing knife and hurls it at the one that's not the one that you guys shot at. And he is going, and you do see that when he throws it.
Somebody just got a haircut.
Okay. You see that he throws the knife. I rolled a base fumble. I'm not using the fumble chart. I want to make you know the fumble chart. I know you guys
I am
don't.
well aware of the fumble
I'm not
chart.
using that because I don't like the scaling for it, the amount of stun you get and stuff. So if you fail, you fail. But basically, he throws a knife, and you see the knife as he leaves his hand. You can see this from your angle. The knife shoots out really high and far away from the guy that was throwing it.
My turn again?
Their turn, actually.
Okay.
Alright, the dog that's attacking the front of the vehicle, he's just thrashing at it. You see that, and from Sven's angle, this is a black fur-covered dog that eyes seem to be glowing a dull, radiating red. And it is throwing itself in a way that you could describe that it doesn't care if it hurts itself. It actually just took a bit of damage from throwing itself against the front of your car.
That'll be quite the detailer price tag.
Alright, these two dogs dash in and basically just attack the nearest living thing. Which, the one that's sleeping attacks you. And we have actually give you a DB. I was going to give you a base 10. He still hits, but next to your suit, add plus 10. That's your defensive modifier. Same to you, man. And you take 7 damage. If you want to use post-it note, that's what I'd recommend.
All right.
So yep, everyone who's post notes can grab them. Yep. And the one that went after you attacks you, and it hits even with your DB, roll 95. So take 3 damage.
Okay.
All right.
So, Sven is going to put into drive, cut the tire, and start to turn around, which means he's going to roll right over the dog in front of him.
Okay.
So I can try and pull the truck like around, like I'm going to do a 3-point turn.
Yep.
Turn around.
Over the dog.
Sven don't care.
Yeah, hero kill.
Planes are ready to kill all 3.
So, yeah, he crushes like the entire right. I rolled for it. He didn't make it at all. So basically, you crush the entire left side of the dog as you roll over. He's not dead, but he
He
basically,
wishes he was.
to some degree, yep.
Well, he has to back up now, so it's going to be another.
Is it pinned under the truck, or is it
No,
just kind of down
he
there?
didn't roll that far. He wasn't pinned under the truck, but can you give a base roll for Sven? If he's trying to hit it, then he has to roll. But if he
93.
Oh my god.
So this dog kind of tries to trot. It looks like he's going after you guys. It doesn't seem like he's even acknowledging the fact that his left side is basically half crushed. It doesn't even seem to phase it. Right as Sven pulls up and then crawls back right over his head. Like, and it just goes. You feel a slight thud in the back.
Crunch
and
splat.
Easy there, Sven. I'm trying to take care of a patient here.
So,
Sorry, boss.
make a medical check. Because I had that as Sven's roll.
Oh, 34 was my base roll. So that's 59.
For some reason, even as now that Sven's piped in some of the coolant from the undercarriage refrigeration unit, the temperature's not going down. This person is at 105, and it seems steady. No matter what you seem to do, they're beat red. They do have a heart rate. You do realize that it's weak. They have a pulse that's weak. On your next roll, you can do a more intensive examination for more information, if you wish.
Right now, I'm just trying to stabilize.
Yep. You have managed to get a pulse. You have them strapped up, so you do have the beat thing going, and they do have a blood rate. So at the moment, that's what you've been able
So
to
I've
do.
got the IV in, I've got the equipment on them.
Yep.
I've got the strap down, so...
Yep. So they're all set for the moment.
And Sven's trying to turn the bus around.
Yep. He's backing up. I just had it. I mean, with this vehicle, you want to get close to it, so I'm having him just do a 3-point times kind of deal. All right, your turn, man. Go ahead.
How do you kill things without doing any actual killing?
Hey, that's 50 XP right there, just for crushing its skull. I can't argue with that.
Yeah, no.
All right, second shot. Oh. No problems. The shot goes wild and doesn't hit the truck.
That's I was.
I made the roll. I made the roll.
Bullet holes are expensive.
And that'll be no. 27.
Okay. Didn't clear 70. You see you hear Sven grumble as a bullet goes flying past the windshield, not into the windshield, past it. All right, Greg.
Sorry, Sven.
I'll move to the left a little bit, and then I'll
Smart man.
and then I'll grab one of my throwing knives and
Okay.
hurl it at the one directly in front of me
No problem.
with my.
You're that close. If you have knives, just stab at it.
You have a melee bonus option if you want to use it.
You know what? Screw throwing the knives. I'll just try to stab it in the fucking head.
Call shot +5.
All right. I'll use boost and surge for +10 to that.
All right, man, go for it.
Yeah, that's 92 pace roll.
Yeah, because you cleared over 110, roll double damage.
Oh, sick. Okay.
For that knife, it's D6 +2.
Yep.
So roll 2 D6s and you can add a total of 4.
10.
Okay.
I rolled a 5 and a 1.
Does that include the added damage?
Yeah.
Okay. So 10 damage.
Rolled a 5 and a 1 on the d6s.
Okay. You stab the dog in the neck. It doesn't bleed. You notice that immediately. There's actually no blood under your blade when you pull it out of him.
That's freaky.
The other shadow runs over to the left and then gets another knife and throws it at the one that's attacking you. And he hits. For 6 damage. Okay. Alright, so the dog that attacked you before attacks you again. Alright, and he just misses. You see this dog jump out at you, this one. That's behind the truck.
Yeah.
Lashes out at you, tries to go with a bite attack, but it snaps its jaws an inch away from you. It just missed by 2 points. The one that was with you comes over, and this time you see it take a few steps back, and it jumps up and jumps at you. A pounce attack. And you have a DB of 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it just manages to miss you, but it does spin around after.
Alright.
But that one's dead. That other dog is now washed down to oblivion.
Oh no.
Alright, top of the order.
So as we're backing up for the next part of the 3-point turn, do I see the carcass of the dog on the ground behind the truck?
Is there any windows in the boxcar?
The back of the truck's still open.
Oh, so it's okay. That was something. That's fine.
I haven't closed it up because everyone hasn't gotten in the truck yet.
You see a very crushed dog that has at this point 3 try marks through it.
All right, so I'm gonna reach down, pick it up, and throw it in the floor.
From that angle, make a strength check. Just have to clear 60. It's not a big dog. It's not a giant dog.
59 plus what's it? Agility.
If you want to do it that way, I'll take that roll.
Okay, so that'd be 64.
All right, you managed to finagle the dog into the truck. It is a very weird creature, as far as you can tell.
Yeah, that's why I'll throw it in the freezer in the floor for later.
Yep, reasonable. All right,
Samples. Hey Sven, we got parts. And all of you hear, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. And then it rolls down, and you see this like. This is probably your first time actually seeing Sven as he sticks his head out. This is like an emaciated corpse of a man wearing like a baseball hat. And you can see something shiny underneath the baseball hat sticking out the sides of it. As he sticks his head out. Everybody! Either, you getting in or you coming? You staying?
Trying to deal with the things out here first.
Yeah, there's already one dead behind us, yeah.
Cool, there's about to be 2 dead in front of us.
Yeah, I'll just run him over, yeah. We gotta go.
Oh, alright.
You guys gonna take forever? You ready to go?
Oh.
I don't want any bullet holes in my truck.
It's fair.
Let's go then.
All right, so it's your turn now. If you want to try to just maneuver yourself into the truck, just have to make a agility check.
You can finish taking out the dogs if you want, but
It's up to you guys.
that's up to you guys.
52.
You made it. So is that the option you want to go with, running into the truck? The back's open, so as you jump in, you basically go ahead, man. That's. I mean,
as I start towards the truck, can I take a shot at the thing as I run by it?
Sure, I'll give you that. You can take a shot before you start running so you don't take a negative. You just use your power. You're gonna need a small cooldown.
No.
So
I'll just run to the truck.
okay, and this guy basically follows suit. The 2 dogs. This one is still a little discombobulated after missing the pounce. This one spins around to try to start to give chase.
All right, as soon as they're in, go ahead, close the door.
Neither of them are able to get their bearings quick enough to chase you.
Door shut.
Yep. And then Sven has an option, right or left, to crush which one he wants. Because they're not next to each other. Okay, make a base roll.
Kill them all.
That's what I think he's going for.
Yep, do an whole S move.
Don't fumble, because you're going to run into a truck then.
He doesn't want the bullet hole in his truck, but he has no problem smashing
Crushing
it into-
shit. These dogs, you don't know what they're made out of.
Well, no, but the dog's
Would
awfully
that be
close
my
to the
mechanical?
truck.
Sure.
57.
Okay. Okay.
Come on, Diddy. Let's get these things all taken care of.
So, as Sven, and you're going to need to go backwards a little bit for this. So, that's gone. As Sven piles back, you see him gun it. And as he swings around, this one comes running. That's the left wheel that it gets crowned under. And then he swings it around just enough to catch this one running and punts it across into the construction vehicle, where you see a mass of matted black fur and what looks to be slightly dull-looking muscle splatter across the back of the truck.
And you hear from the front of the truck, yeah, they're gone now, yeah. Where are we going? And that's when I sit there and realize, wait a minute, we weren't told where to bring this guy. So I start bringing him, and I text Monica, where'd you want this guy brought, by the way?
That's a good answer. It's a fair point. Didn't think about it at the time. You get a text response back immediately that says Memorial Hospital for North Bennington.
That place is shit. All right. So let me do a medical check on him on the way.
Yep.
Wow, I'm rolling shit with these dice.
I like how both this game and novelization think of a manslaughter first session. Or not manslaughter, but trucks used as weapons.
Yeah, 38. Do I get another one on the way?
Yep. It's going to take you at least an hour and 20 minutes to get to the hospital.
110.
Okay.
Sorry, 109.
So, as you guys are sitting in the seats that are provided in the back of the vehicle, you see him working on the patient who's strapped in.
I can't figure it out for the first, like, half of the ride.
Yep. Grumbling occasionally in frustration. And once you start checking, you realize that on her chest, there looks to be a brand. This brand is still and once you realize that it's not healing, this brand, it looks to be a demonic brand. And it seems to be what's keeping her body temperature at 105. She is still alive, as far as you can tell. Her pupils are bloodshot, but reactive. She has a slow heart rate and a slow pulse.
Where's the brand located?
Pretty much just lower on the below the chest line. It's about 5 inches across, and you do not recognize it. It's in a weird, harsh script with different lines and mixes. It does seem to have some type of symmetrical design to it.
So I'm gonna call up to Sven. Can you keep it steady for a while? And then I'm gonna try and surgically remove the entire piece of skin around where the brand is.
Okay.
I'd like to call Robert Langdon and send him photos of it.
Robert Lane?
Langdon.
Langdon.
Angels and Demons.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He had the scarification on the red both ways.
Okay,
Fire
the
or
dice hate
flutter.
this person.
Why would you roll
0, 0, and an 8.
an 8?
So that would be a total
Isn't
of
0, 0, 100?
33.
So you actually rolled 0.
As you are all prepped, you're all antiseptic based. You've got your gloved up and everything. As you are cutting into the skin to try to remove the brand, every time you cut in, you see that it almost looks like the skin superheats and heals, like it doesn't want to get it cut off this person.
Okay.
You do realize that that the person does have a running circulatory system, though. So if you do want to take blood, you do realize you can.
Okay, yeah, I'll take as many samples as I can
Yeah,
get away
no,
with.
0, 0 is 100, isn't it?
0, 0, 0 is 100.
There's no 0, 0.
If you
Well,
roll
so
both
roll
dice.
is-
If you
Double
roll,
zero and
if
a
you roll
0.
0, 0 is considered a 0.
Okay.
So the next number would be like 0, 8. Now, if you counted a 0 on the single digit one with a 0, 0, then it's 100.
Okay.
But if you get like a 0 and then like a 10, then it would just be 10.
Got it.
Because you can't roll a 0.
I thought I rolled
Naturally.
a 0 once, but it was actually a 100 combat encounter in the first session of our D&D campaign.
Yeah,
That was fun.
yeah. How wonderful.
And then Joe rolled like a 96.
Keeping very close tabs of every single thing that I'm putting into this person.
This is the hospital.
Yep. One of them. This is Memorial. No,
One
actually.
of them.
Yep.
Alright, so am I going to text Monica? Am I going to the emergency room or am I going to the back door? I've been to the hospital enough times to know that there's the legitimate place to drop them off and then there's the illegitimate place to drop them off.
You are told basically that the front door will have technicians waiting to take it over for checking on the situation. So
Okay.
basically, you just can drop them off at the front.
Alright, make sure I get a few extra images of the brand.
Yep.
And any skin samples I can rip off of that area.
It
Including
seems
if I can even chunk out a piece of the brand itself.
you can make a medical check to try. You'll have to clear a 90.
No.
You aren't able to get a section. You aren't able to get skin and blood samples. It seems like the area around 8 inches around the brand is somehow affected by it, so you're not able to extract any skin from that area, but you can take it off a hand or leg.
I'm a medic, not a
Magician.
exorcist.
So far. But
I haven't found those books yet.
those are the kind of books you might find.
How How strange for a doctor.
In this world, nothing is strange. That's the idea that we're going with. But as you arrive toward the hospital, make an observation check.
I'm busy with the
Yeah,
patient.
you're busy.
99.
Or should I make one for Sven?
Make one for Sven.
100. Legit, 3 zeros this time.
99
99.
was my natural roll.
All right. In the
You see everything about the hospital.
So 124?
I didn't add in any of my bonuses. Figure if 100 doesn't cut it.
oh no, that does it.
No, I kind of figured.
Although I have enough points, I can totally cheat and just give myself quick success on everything.
You could. I won't fault you for using the options at the table.
Only if it's something really worth it.
That'd be more what I'd recommend. Save it for when it's needed.
Or when I automatically want to fail something.
Or if you put it on his credit.
It'll be expensed out later.
Sure.
So,
What were we being observant for? That we could definitely see as we come up to the front entrance?
metagame answer? I'm wondering if I want to put you guys through another combat phase.
Evil.
No. It was more what's before you get there. You guys all rolled super high, so you guys would have actually made the perception checks to see other things. But, debating on being nice or not. But no, I'll let you do that. And if you want a combat phase, you'll have options.
It's
I'll
up
do
to you
that.
guys.
I'd go for it, yeah.
Okay,
I wouldn't mind more than
perfect.
I'm not a combatant, so.
Earn my money.
Yep.
So, not really sure what I'm making for this, but you know,
You'll have money. That's not an issue.
free room and board, I guess.
So, Sven and you rolled like hundreds plus.
124?
that. Would have been 100. That's
So, as you guys are going, Sven points out that there are things following on the side of the highway. And it looks like both sides of the highway now have something chasing your vehicle. It looks like, if you had to guess, they're after your patient. And they are very hard. And he references they're bigger than the dogs. And at that point, you guys now make the check that you guys basically hear on the side of the vehicle a thud.
oh.
You guys all hear on the side of the vehicle a thud, and you can actually even feel a little bit the thing move a little bit. Something just rammed the side of your vehicle as you're driving on the road. And Sven comments that you notice that, yes, you can expense out the dent that it just gave to your back of your vehicle. So it hit about here on your vehicle. And it was enough to actually feel in the back.
Okay.
And there are now, as you guys are driving, and sorry to do this to Sven and you, but I'm sure you'll make your money back for it. A tire blows out.
One of the front ones or one of the double ones in the back?
One of the front ones.
Oh, fuck.
So all of a sudden, as you're going, the car, Sven has to brake because otherwise you're gonna flip. So, granted, it's about 8:30 at night now, and it's quiet in
Oh, he
Vermont.
did
So
horrible
the
on
part
that one.
that you're in, about 20 minutes north of Bennington, this is what you see.
47 for braking and not flipping the truck.
Okay, everyone make a utility check. But the good news is your truck's okay aside from the tire.
I'm dead serious.
Would
Oh,
you,
I'm not down it.
would you call this an evasive action? Or reaction?
I literally rolled a 1.
66.
Take 10 damage as the truck jolts to a halt and you mash your hip onto the gurney that you're working on. What'd you roll?
66.
67 with my boosted dodge.
Bloody fucking hell.
Just take 2 damage just because it was a quick stop.
No, he's not the same Sven from Desolation, but he is based off of him. In many, many ways. This might be how Sven was before he got into Desolation. Sorry, it took me a few moments to notice your comment, Jake.
Alright. You hear... Just want to move there for my sake. You hear that there's some scraping, or at least a body moving up against this side of the vehicle. Not the side where the tire blew. It seems to be the other side.
Okay. Oh, whose turn?
We'll run the table. We'll start with you just for what your action you want to take. The tire will have to be replaced before you get back on the road.
Sven's gonna try and sweet talk the car into having the tire be okay.
The tire blew out. There's not any fixing rubber at this point. That's not how it works.
Okay.
Well, like, you wouldn't... If it was mechanical, there might be an option. Like, if it blew out, shorted, even a circuit. But this is rubber over tire. That's not gonna...
I know, but Sven's still gonna be sweet talking his...
Perfect. No, I wanted to make you know that wouldn't work.
I
You can't reform rubber, but okay. No, that's...
Gonna do it anyway.
You hear Sven in the top. He is
Yeah, it's okay, it's okay.
lovingly
We'll
talking
make
to the
your
vehicle.
tire okay again. I'm so sorry they're putting you through this. And I'm just, ow, motherfucking ow.
Did you have a roof hatch on your vehicle?
No.
Okay. You never specified, and I was going to allow it if you
No,
wanted
there's
it.
like a window going into the front cab.
Yep.
And then there's the back door.
Okay. Yep, so... You still examining the patient?
Yep.
Your turn, man. You now hear that there is noise coming from the right side as well, the side the tire blew out at.
What do you think? Open it up and jump out?
I think we're gonna have to if we're gonna get back on the road.
You see the other guy grab 2 daggers now, and he goes, honestly, if they're not gonna let us go, then we might as well take care of the problem.
So this is what you were hired for.
Yeah, this is our job.
Okay. Oh, I'll open the door and jump out. And I'll...
I guess now's about time
I'm
to
guessing
stand
that's
pacifist.
Sven.
Wonderful.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't like...
Reloading my gun.
Like, they go and start shooting at some guy in the middle of the road.
That's a demon.
Oh, sorry.
So,
Ex-vet. Need money for failure.
Oh shit, it's a homeless guy! Dum 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 dum.
Well, no love.
Well, then I'd probably go over to him. Need some medical help?
so
Can we just so I can see everything
Thank
else?
you
Is
for
there anything? Can we just
following
assume that we all
Candle
know and
Play
recognize the fact
Free.
that the truck is there?
It's
Yep.
kind of a cool
Can we
name.
move it? Just so, if that's okay. I mean, I don't want to.
would that work just
That
to
works?
symbolize
Yeah,
the truck?
absolutely.
No, I'm cool with that
If you're
because
good with, just because I can't.
so that's where the truck is. We'll say this is the front,
Sounds
this is
good.
the back, so there's no
Yep.
problem, so we can see the map. Perfect. I like compromises like that.
Why does Finn get a little jacuzzi tub? Like, in the front? He's supposed to be driving.
Because he's bolted to the chair, okay?
That's why he
Plug into
never,
it.
Is the chair.
Pretty much literally.
Oh my god.
that's why he
Yeah,
never gets out of
You
the
saw
truck.
him emancipated and stuff. He needs a life support suit and exoskeleton to leave the truck.
Truck man.
One day.
It's worse than
So
old fart.
We'll nickname him Optimus Prime.
all right, you
We already had that joke.
Oh, sorry.
What he's gonna turn into.
So you can say Sven is more than meets the eye.
you guys are lucky because as you jump out of the truck, I don't make you do an observation check because it's pretty well lit night. You'll be able to see around. But these 2 creatures that look as you see them, they seem to be these emaciated, musculatured, charred creatures with glowing red eyes. And one of them swings at you, misses completely. The other one, another one on the other side, swings at Shadow and misses completely. 1 in 12. It's like, really? I gave them a free attack and neither of them hit. It seems like this one, the one that's attacking you, you realize its right arm is damaged. It looks like that was what fucked up your tire. You do realize these things have 8-inch claws. And they definitely look to be walking on all fours type creatures. Definitely demonic looking monstrosities. They don't appear to have any hair, it's just dull gray skin covering what appears to be musculature. They also have long tongues that come into a tight point.
Ew.
Yeah, they're creepy looking monstrosities. Alright, well, you're doing your medical checks and Savannah's just sweet talking the vehicle. So, any other actions you want to make?
Not at the moment.
Okay, you're up. Go ahead.
Right, pull up my guns.
Okay.
And 84.
Solid hit. Alright, you can roll your other attack and then you can roll damage.
Is 39.
That did not clear 60,
Nope.
so nope, not a successful hit. And,
There's 2d6. 1d.
so you just if you want to add plus 15 to firearms, if that's what you're adding, right?
Okay,
Okay, so just want to make sure you had a bonus for shooting.
alright.
D10 plus 2.
4.
Total?
Total.
Okay. Alright, your bullet sinks into its leg, no noticeable response from the creature. Alright, your turn, man.
Alright, I'll grab my revolver and specifically aiming for one of its clawed hands.
Which one? This one or this
Yeah, that guy.
one? Okay.
Specifically aiming for like one of its hands.
Okay, call shot plus
Pull
5.
my stuff.
And you can always call a shot to plus 5 if it's feasible in the situation.
So, just a perception check.
Alright, add your unanalyzed bonus.
102.
Okay.
92 base.
92 base. Okay, plus your bonuses. So, yep.
I wonder if I can expense out some run plots.
6.
Okay. So your bullet tears through its right hand, no noticeable effect. Shadow sees that there's one over there coming from the tree line basis toward the vehicle. He goes for a double throw because he grabbed 2 blades. Alright, so his knife, one goes flying, skips off the ground, the other one sinks into it, doing 6 damage. Alright, so this creature dashes forward. High or low?
Low.
Okay, it attacks you.
Okay.
That's why I did that, just to see which one it went after.
Oh, that's fair.
And it hits. So 9 damage as this thing puts a pretty good gash in your thigh. It's not bleeding too bad, so no bleeding.
Alright.
This one swings at you with its not so damaged hand. And hits. Doing 7 damage. As you have a good gash. This one comes dashing forward, but it uses its tongue attack, which hits. As you see, as it pounces forward, its tongue shoots out straight at Shadow. Doing 11 damage. Okay. Alright, top of the order. Go ahead, man. Still doing what you're doing?
Ben's just gonna sit there because going outside is gonna be a stupid idea right now. And Vadim, looking outside the now opened back of his truck,
Yep.
that everyone went out and seeing this going on, is gonna come over with and pull out my weapon
Okay.
of choice. And I am going to aim to the one that's closest to you at the moment.
Which one? This one is kind of a... You'd have to hang out of the car to do that. These two are fireable.
Yeah, that one that's closest to you personally.
Oh, this one.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yep. Alright, go for the shot. Tranquilizer gun.
58, and then I add...
Plus 15 from firearms, and I think that one does have a bonus to fire. You hit him. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, you didn't give me any actual bonus with it.
And they're not wearing any armor that would stop you. So yeah, you have a plus 15 to firearms, basic.
Okay. So they have the negative 10 to the next action for the next D4 rounds.
Okay.
And that would be almost instantly they are slowed and don't seem to be responding correctly.
Yep. You see Sadim swing out of the back because you're right there watching this. He pulls out what appears to be some type of tranquilizer gun, shoots it. It sinks in right into the thing's neck. And you do see it kind of wobble out a little bit. So it'll be a disadvantage for his next turn and negative 10 for the next 4 rounds. I rolled a d4, so it's definitely discombobulated. You see it, it's not wailing like it was. Alright, that's your turn. Your turn, man. Alright, that shot misses.
These things are fascinating.
That's
One.
one thing to call them.
Can't wait to dissect
Yeah,
one.
no.
Nope. Bang, bang.
I'll be sure to keep
That
that in
way.
mind as I'm taking out a knife.
Your turn, man.
Not even trying to know the holster
Speaking
on
of
that one.
Speaking of that knife, I'm gonna go with the one right in front of me with it.
Melee strike?
Yeah, with
Okay.
my.
Cut its tongue off.
You know what? Sure. I'll target on its tongue.
Plus 5 to your strike.
And now boosted surge to swing at him faster.
Sounds good.
No, I rolled a 4.
It is a very nice slash. The thing just drops its body down to the ground and you slash above it.
Okay.
Shadow actually pulls out 2 more daggers and goes to go try to stab at the thing for a melee strike.
I tried.
Misses with his first slash. I rolled 17 twice for his 2 attacks.
Good job.
So,
I'm gonna retire those dice.
yeah, it's getting there, man. It's getting there. So, all right, their turn, the enemy turn. So this one dashes at you a little bit, goes with a tongue. You know what? Just for fun, because honestly,
Just swallow his own tongue?
no, but out of humor's sake. So it shoots its tongue at you, and you see it kind of take its whole body up, lifts up almost stature-wise a couple
Agility
feet.
check, see if you can catch it.
Shoots, misses you, and shoots it into the ground. You hear it give an audible growl as its tongue squishes.
Can I make an agility check?
Sure,
it by
I'll
the
have fun with
tongue?
it. Go for it, go for it. You have to clear 80.
Alright. Can I.
He'll have advantage if you fail.
Okay, hold on. I am giving you a crit success on this one.
Would you call this an agility counter roll?
Yes, I would.
Then can I use my boosted dodge?
I'm okay with that. Go for it. You're using
There we go.
You're using it, and did you give him a crit success?
I gave you a crit success on this one because this is going to be hilarious.
I mean, I rolled pretty good regardless, but alright, yeah. Just grab it. With
All
my
right.
arm. Still got my knife.
What, you're going to swing it around? Like,
You manage,
Yeah, my.
as it grabs, mind you, this
Actually,
thing,
a double hand. Just.
these things would be stretched out at least 6 feet tall. They're heavy. It'd be a really difficult
Yeah.
strike check to swing it. But you, as it shoots its tongue in the ground, you expertly move out of the way, holster your handgun, because you're still holding it as
Yeah.
far as I know, and grab onto its tongue. It is trying to pull against you, but you won't have to make any rolls for now.
Alright, cool.
So you have firmly gripped its 3.5 foot long tongue, about 1.5 foot from the end.
Awesome.
The end, you realize, is actually, now that you have it close, you don't have to make an observation check, it's black.
Ugh.
And seems to be solid. Like, even though it stabbed into the ground, you can actually see some cracked pavement. And it's that black piece of the tongue is still there. Oh, you can on your next turn. The one that's next to Shadow attacks him and hits him. I feel like Shadow's gonna get almost shit.
I'm not that far behind him, so
5 damage. So the one next to you now goes in with a tongue attack. You see it arch back and shoots out its tongue at you. It looks like it kind of pulled its tongue in and then shot it out of its like. What? And your DB is 10, right? Yeah, that hits.
yeah.
5 damage. As the tongue shoots past you, causing a little gash on your right side.
Don't worry, I'll get you all healed up afterwards.
I'm not that close to dead yet.
Alright, top of the order.
No one dies, it's not supposed to on my watch.
I'd like to see Sven
That's comforting. As
stick
I'm
his head
wrestling with
arm
this
out
thing.
the window and throw a can of fix-a-flat at one of these fuckers. Just because.
It's fine, little Sven is just sweet
No.
talking now, okay?
No, he's just sitting in the truck waiting until it's safe to come out and check and change the tire. He has shit for defense.
Little fuckers, whack.
He's useless
Back of the head.
outside of the truck.
He's the driver.
Alright, so
Basically.
can I get a clear shot at one of the other two?
It would be a higher difficulty not to shoot Shadow because he's in melee combat with the one right now in front of the other, but you still have a shot at this one.
He's already fucked up. I'm not gonna be able to do much more to him at this point. Except maybe knock him out.
If you did want to just hop off the truck and walk about 5
No,
feet.
I don't want to hop off the truck.
Okay. Then
I
you
have
can
defense up here.
then you can make a higher difficulty shot at the other
Does
one.
anyone look actually hurt?
Most of the crew are scraped and beaten up a little bit, but no one's about to die.
I've seen the days, but I'm not too bad.
Okay, then I'm just gonna sit and watch.
Okay. You see that they're basically just in combat. Your turn, man. Go ahead.
Take a quick peek at the patient on the bench and make sure that she's okay.
You realize that might be. Yeah, she's fine. That's what that was. Alright.
67?
Okay. That does hit. All right, second shot.
$18.
The 18 does not. So
Two.
total.
No, what's my
I think it's +2.
alright, so 4.
Okay. All right, your turn, man.
Right, gonna grab my knife and try to just take its tongue right.
All right, make a attack roll. Just base roll,
Oh, okay.
and you can add your agility if you're trying to take its.
Yeah, I'll add
tongue
my
off.
agility and search for +10 to it. So. That's over 100.
In a fluid motion, you stretch out its tongue as it's trying to fight you and chop.
Take the tip right off.
Yep, it's actually a tip plus about 8 foot hanging off.
Awesome. Good.
And there's about a foot the other way from where you cut it, since you
Should
don't
I
want to get too
roll
close.
damage? Or not, since it was just its tongue.
This wasn't direct attack. He take damage because of what you did, but it wasn't directly like you were trying to do more damage, so you just did more damage.
Okay.
Which, mind you, was still 7 damage.
Success.
Yeah. So. Alright, Shadow keeps trying to stab at the thing. Nice. Second was a 99. His first strike missed, so. So for 12 damage, he stabbed that. Alright. You realize as all of you are doing damage, even when you cut off its tongue, it's not bleeding. You realize that if you look close attention, what you were holding was like solid muscle. And it is all these creatures' eyes are glowing red, and their skin is gray, and the more you damage it, you do realize each one is starting to turn blacker the more you damage it. But, alright, so top of the order for the enemies, it's the one attacking you right now. And he does hit, but with just a claw attack, not a bite attack. Take 5 damage. 5 damage.
Okay.
The one that's there does another tongue attack, but misses Shadow. And it does a claw attack this time and hits you for 5 damage. Alright, top of the order.
Anyone looking hurt?
What do you have for HP?
61 on it.
Is anyone at half hit points or less?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'm not gonna bother.
Nope, they look beaten up, but not damaged.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna.
Hold action.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not much for combat.
Okay. The patient is starting to mildly convulse.
Okay, then I'll do my actions since I've been holding actions
Yep,
anyway.
yep, yep. No, 100%. You're on plus 10 because you hold action.
So
70.
Okay. You're able to get the patient stable. It looks like the temperature is starting to mess with their heart rate. Like their body's starting to give out. They can't.
Slow
maintain-
metabolism.
Oh, using your power? Okay, you can add your plus 10 base power usage to that roll, so if that's what you're trying to use to help. So you stabilize them. You
Bring it up to
manage,
80 then.
and the coolant begins to take mild effect. Their temperature's about 104.1 right now.
Okay.
So it's starting, and you stabilize them, but they're not conscious.
I'll put him into a coma state.
Yeah, they're basically already there.
Yeah.
All right, top of your turn, man. Go ahead.
$85.
Okay, solid hit.
$30. Solid miss.
Okay, yep. So, yep, you did one hit. Go ahead and roll.
For 6.
And it's a +2 too.
That's with the +2.
All right. The one that you're working on, is pretty damaged. It's now not moving as fast. It's still disorientated. It's at negatives for all its attacks still for another 2 rounds. And you realize that as you've been damaging it, basically putting bullets in it, every bullet hole or slash that you put, black is emanating off the wound, turning that gray into black. It looks almost the way you could describe ash, or like a burned log. It looks like the more damage you're doing, the blacker they turn, and their body movements are also slowing down as if they're calcifying. Your turn, man. Go ahead.
Lock up my knife and pull my gun back out.
That's
Because
fine.
the thing's right in front of me.
Yeah.
Call shot like on center mass. On
So
his
+5.
chest.
Yep.
And you said it was +15 for gun.
Yep.
For firearms.
For firearms with
So-
base.
And I'll just take a shot right at it.
Yep.
99 base.
Double damage.
So 2d10.
Did you just stick your snub nose revolver right into the open gullet of this thing that you ripped its tongue out of?
Put it right up to his chest.
Oh.
Basically put a hole in it from what I can gather.
Holy shit. Okay. 34.
I'm not even gonna roll his con check.
I rolled a 14 base damage, doubled +2.
Yeah. So basically, I would offer you how you want to do it, but there's a reason I'm not going to do that for this particular situation. So for all of you that can see, and you can see this from where you're at, if you wanted, because it's just out the back. You put your gun right up against his chest and fire the bullet.
Mm-hmm.
You see, as you pull the trigger, you can see that black excludes through his leather, skin-covered musculature. And you put the bullet right through it. As you do that, you see that the black begins to extend over its body, and it collapses and just basically burns to ash. As you see internal fire start emanating through the musculature and burn the epidermis, and within about 30 seconds, it's a pile of ash. The
Shadow
tongue
gets
that
a
you cut
blessing.
off, what's up?
Sorry for interrupting. Shadow gets a blessing.
I bought a blessing
Oh,
for
cool.
him because he could really use it.
No argument. But the tongue that you cut off does not turn to ash. So, and its body just evaporates in 30 seconds.
Bang.
Basically. And you did more than half of its remaining HP in one hit, so I didn't even bother to roll con, because its body wouldn't maintain it. Alright,
So it all just disintegrated?
except for the tongue.
The tongue.
Keep the tongue.
I'll grab it when we're done.
Damn, fucking no samples.
Throw it in the freezer.
So I used Shadow's advantage, and still rolled under a 30.
Oh no.
So he's still pretty useless, but
Poor guy's just having a rough day.
he is. And that one's not smart. And that one's okay. So the one facing Shadows does another claw swing but misses. The one attacking you does 3 damage as a glancing hit with one of its claws. Alright, so top of the order.
So, Nadim, seeing what just happened, is going to take a shot at the one I've already shot and see if I can try and knock it out. See if I can take one of these alive for samples.
Alright.
So. Ooh, nice. 77. You said plus what for my shot?
15 for firearms base. Unless you have expertise. Didn't you have firearm training? So yours might be out of 20, I think, if you wrote that in.
I did.
You did?
Yes.
Okay, so you're out of 20, not
Okay.
15.
All right.
It's a
Because
93.
I give training. If you have training, it's a high bonus. What's up?
So 93.
Yep, it's a solid hit.
So with a second dose of that, would that be enough to start knocking it out?
So you realize that he shoots it again. And black is now emanating from the first shot that he had. He shoots it again. This time the bullet goes into what would be about his ribcage. Mind you, you can't tell if this thing has any solid bone in it. It just seems to be epidermis of muscle encased in a gray skin flap. That's the best way I can describe it. With claws.
Bright flag coming off of the...
Yep. So black begins to emanate from the second wound, and it just begins to go limp. But you do realize that the black is starting to, from where the 2 hits are kind of combining. So, and its arm is starting to turn black, as what remains of its right arm. And it is now at -20 for another 4 rounds. So it's a cumulative effect.
Okay, and then next round I'm going to try and bind it up and throw it in the freezer.
Okay.
And I'll let everybody know. So I'm going to tie this thing up and throw it in my freezer for later.
You cool with us killing the other one?
Go for it. I only need 1 for samples.
Okay, your turn, man.
These things are too dangerous to keep too many of them.
He calls out that he's going to try to
keep that one alive. Yeah.
Yep.
But
So
keep
I'm
the
gonna-
tongue.
I'm gonna move over by
I'll grab the
shadow
tug when
and-
we're done with this guy.
Okay, if you go to his back, you get an automatic +10 for flanking.
That's what?
+10
Plus
to your attack.
would be 6.
Okay, that hits. Second attack. Total?
Huh?
13? That doesn't hit.
No. Yeah.
So just one successful hit.
7 plus what my vote?
2.
9.
No problem. So that one's looking pretty damaged. There is black stretching out from the slashes that Shadow did, and your gunshot goes into its shoulder, and you see that it seems like a lot of heat is generated as the area turns black. Okay. Rick, all you, man.
I'm gonna put a bullet in this thing's knee.
Which one?
Or the one we're all fighting.
That's one. Okay.
The one that isn't is a test.
So you have a +10 because he's currently engaged with 2 other enemies.
Okay. That's gonna be not a crit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope. No problem. Roll
Poor
damage.
mutant.
Wretch, actually.
12.
Okay.
Depend.
Oh, that works. And that's a hit. And no. So as you see Shadow run up with his daggers, he slashes it across the neck, bringing a nice gash into its epidermis, and it just starts raining black, and it begins to spread over its head, down to its arms. You almost see the black start to etch into where you put a bullet into it, and then it begins to start calcifying, it goes limp, and begins to start dustifying, is the best way I can describe it. It looks almost the best way I can describe it is that heat is just burning out the body as it emanates from damage. Almost as if this is a body that was created to encase something, that the more damage it takes, the more it burns out the host, is the best way I can describe it. and it begins to just it doesn't do
He
it.
endgamed him. Oh damn.
Yeah, basically, these kind of guys self endgame when they die. And it begins. There's probably
It
about
blipped.
basically back to a very far away place. You realize that once it goes limp, about 70% of its body is left as it's just burning out the rest of it. You do have the opportunity, if you want to make an agility check, to grab what appears to be one of its hands
Sure, I will try.
before it dustifies like the
I
rest
will
of
try
it.
to grab a hand.
Okay.
92.
Okay. If it's the same system, you'll have to cut it off basically
Yeah.
from where it's burning. But
Just take
you
a knife
managed
and
to.
thunk.
Yep. You capture about its wrist up.
Okay.
And it is approximately 9 inches size hand with what appears to be 4 inches of the 8-inch claw sticking out of the fingers.
I also want to grab that tongue that's still embedded in the ground.
Yep, it's there. But
Grab it, bring it over to him.
So I'm gonna try and put the samples that he gives me into jars and bind this guy up and throw him in the freezer.
make a base roll to, and you might want to get someone's help because if you move this thing wrong and don't roll high enough, it'll start dusting in your hands. So. Okay,
fine.
so you guys head down to assist and move it, and
What kind of
I
roll
get a
is this?
73 base roll for binding him up.
okay,
What kind of roll would this be?
just roll.
Oh, okay. 69.
82.
Okay, you managed to get it bound up. It seems to be struggling to trying to get away. It looks to
It
be
just
about
has no energy.
yeah, it
It's
has no
sedated as
energy
fuck.
at this point. Yeah, he's at negative 20. He just rolled a 6. You do realize though that as the black is encasing the body, it will not keep. It looks like as you're watching it, the black is starting to make the body more brittle. It's a time game. So I mean, you might be able to bring it in once you secure it for samples. I mean, the body parts that you grabbed, the tongue and the hand, they've turned kind of stock gray and got kind of hard. So the musculature, it looks almost like calcification is the best description for it. It looks like you'll be able to take some samples if you can, but the body is eventually, as long as it's in one piece, emanating from the center, it will begin to dustify.
All right, then I'll take whatever samples I can get while Sven,
Just take
you hear some horrible mechanical sounds as he unbolts from his chair, steps out, and starts replacing the tire.
Okay,
So at this point, anyone that wants to see Sven can see a guy that comes out, moving very robotic, wearing what looks to be a mechanic's jumpsuit, relatively gaunt, pale type figure with odd, sharp angles every now and then that you can see under his clothing when he moves. And as he's changing the tire, you see him pull off his hat for a moment, and you realize that he has like a tin foil hat on underneath as he wipes the sweat from his brow.
Tinfoil brow.
if you want to make a mechanical check, just see how long it takes them to switch it out. That's fine. At most, it'll take 15 minutes.
110.
So it took 5 minutes as you see Sven just
Lift it up with one arm,
Yeah.
pull out the Omni tool, burr, take the thing off, while still holding it up, grab the other tire, pop it on.
and in 5 minutes, the truck is back to optional.
He is his own jack.
You do realize that there's a dent in one of the side panels of the truck from when one of the creatures shoulder tackled it and then caught it. For your roll, I did the basics. You managed to extract its head from its solidifying body. It looks to be a generally humanoid head. You realize it has a pronounced nose area and it has no eyes. It seems to be going off entirely scent, as far as you can tell. It does have a nasal cavity, which looks to be a basic humanoid style. Its tongue is still intact. It looks to be that the part of the tongue that you managed to extract, about 2 feet of musculature, and then the point. The point is a dark gray, almost black, 3-inch long. The only way I can describe
We'll
it is
get
like
more answers when it goes to the lab.
hornet stinger. That's what I can describe it as.
Barb.
It's not barbed. It's just a small point. You want as the damage that was done to it for the rest of the body took out the legs and arms. That was the only spot you were able to get. I rolled a 37. That was what I
Fine.
could give.
I'm surprised I got anything, so.
I am too. The rolls were in your favor with that. I didn't expect you to go after that bounty.
I'm happy I cut off its tongue.
That was a good roll. I mean, I like
Thank you for the
ingenuity.
crit. I'm grabbing
You
it.
like,
Yeah.
I can dodge. Can I use it to dodge? I'm like, hell yeah, you can get the hell out of the way, grab it, and stash. It was a
Good job,
call.
sir. Whenever we find an interesting life form, it's good to get samples.
Keep that in mind, man.
You never know what I might be able to use it for.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are all right?
Keep
You
it in
don't,
mind.
you don't live with us, do you?
No.
Okay, good.
No, you guys got your own
Well,
accommodations.
but I mean, is he
No.
in the same building?
No.
I'm not welcome at the apartment building.
Okay, good.
Neither of us are.
Then I don't care where you store this shit.
There's a few people that are kind of not so happy with me.
Like Dahmer over here with like body parts in his freezer, and here I am, the co-ed college girl living next door. Like, I will prefer with a coffee, Mr. Dahmer.
Would you like a kidney for the side? Sorry, moving on. Yep, he gets the vehicle back up,
Don't mind
and
me stick our tongues in the freezer. Those are just...
Yeah, you guys watch me pull up a panel on the floor and just toss the samples into this freezer that's the entire floor of the truck.
yep. So the patient is still stable as you get the truck back and running. Yeah. So you
So are
guys.
any of you a priest? All
Shadow
right.
looks at you and says, "No, enough is all. Oh gods,
Did you just ask if you drove a Prius?
Prius or
I don't have a license.
You hear Sven? Those fucking Priuses! Nah, yeah, no, never drive a Prius. Those things will track you. They watch you. They're more intelligent than most police officers now.
Sounded like he asked if you drove a Prius. I don't know.
Okay, those damn computers that are in those damn cars, they just keep on watching you and listening to you, and they'll take you wherever the hell they want to. They never take you where you want to go. They take you where they want you to go.
Settled.
And he just starts
It's
going.
a good thing I don't have one, man.
And as you're half listening, you start hearing him talk about how the government's monitoring everything and listening to through Prius computers and never trust a fucking hippie.
Pigeons are all secretly cameras.
Says the best friend of with Illyria over here.
All right, so the patient is still stable. I rolled for it. She, like I said, she hasn't regained consciousness. She's still in a comatose state, but you managed to get her balance. Her temperature's down to about a 103 at this point, and you do realize when you look back that brand in her chest has kind of... It's not as hot as it was. It looks to be like your coolant is actually... you can make another medical check to try to take a sample of it if you want, now that you've cooled it down enough that it's not going to cauterize when you do it. Good, 60?
55.
It keeps cauterizing. It's still too hot to try to get a sample from the brand itself. But yeah, so then you make your way to the hospital. I'm going to call for a quick break right now, if that's good with everyone.
Sure.
We
Sure.
can handle the food situation, and
Yeah.
then we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
All right, then
We'll be right back after this brief message.
feel free to like, subscribe, or whatever other kind of follow bullshit stuff that goes along with this, because I'm a horrible host. We'll be back.